Good morning, all. Sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Naveen.
Yeah, hi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Naveen.
So last session, before we proceed, any questions? Before we proceed, any questions from last week's session regarding enterprise structure? We have done this, right? Enterprise structure, not descriptive, but at least the pictorial format. Yes, no.
Yes, Naveen.
So before we proceed, I would like to start because, as I mentioned, this is a combination of your financial accounting. Before we enter into an organizational structure, little time we are going to spend an accounting part today. The next we will pitch into this organization structure part, so that then that would be clear. Like, okay, uh, hope everyone it is okay. So don't consider it's only interact. It should be an interactive thing. What do you mean by capital? What do you mean?
Money which we are investing to
The
start
amount
the
we are
business.
using it in the
Correct.
business, we are investing it into the business.
We are investing. Correct. So which side we will show in our balance sheet?
Liability,
Perfect. Liability. What kind of liability?
Current liability.
Perfect. So three questions from my end. Us. Capital, which we are investing. We, as you mentioned, which we are investing. That is called a capital. So first question, normally we are going for, this is not for like end user or something. For example, a client, you have entered into a client place as a SAP consultant, and they will be expert in their account day-to-day accounting activity, like what we do, invoice posting, how we receive an invoice, what are the fields we need to enter, and everything. Well, okay, our client was using some other ERP like Arkil or something else. So like he was having some sort of accounting confusion part on the job. He may not ask. So when we start, once we implemented this SAP, then we will start giving trainings to them. Then at that particular point of time, seriously, it happened with me also. So what they will try to check is, they not only check our SAP skills, okay, they'll try to check our core accounting skills also sometimes. Clear? 100% accounting skills, is it required? No, not required for consultant. But at least minimum 15%, as I mentioned earlier also, 15 to 20% accounting skills are mandatory. It's a required. And especially like why and what in accounting area part. Why and what? Clear? Definitely they'll pull our leg. The first question, the thing is, okay, we have invested our own money into our own business. For example, to start to run our show, we need a 10 lakhs rupees. Okay, so what we did is we have not borrowed from anywhere, not even bank, friends, relatives, not from money lenders or someone. So we have invested our own money, our own amount in our own business. Okay, as you mentioned, it's an investment. So I'll call, as you mentioned, the same thing as we call it as in capital. It's our own investment. It's our own money, right? But we didn't borrow from anywhere. Okay, but why it is considered as a liability? I know, according to my accounting knowledge, I know liability is nothing but what we need to repay back to someone, something which we
the
are.
business has to repay back the person who was investing, right?
Sorry,
Because business is a company.
sorry, I
Business
didn't
has
get.
been,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Business is different from this person.
Why?
So we are
Be-
investing in
It
business.
is because it is registered
Who is business here?
as an individual.
Why you are separating business and we? On what
Uh,
basis?
Naveen,
Yes, please.
according to Companies Act 2013, uh, the business is considered as a separate legal entity.
Mhm.
And second thing is that if the business has got what we call this bankrupt, so the liability will be on business, not on the people who have invested that money.
See, for example, I'm not going a company or something else. See, for example, I have invested my own money into my business, right? If something went lost, then I have to suffer. I am the owner of the business and I have to suffer. I have to take that. If business is suffering in the sense, I have to suffer, right? If business is going a bankrupt in the sense, who will be the bankrupt? I'll be the bankrupt. If I'm not wrong,
Yes.
then
Because of the business entity concept.
sorry, please come again.
So according to business entity concept, business has to be treated as an artificial person.
What
I have to maintain the books of accounts not for the
what
individual,
what
for
do
the
you mean by
organization.
artificial person?
So I have to separate them, right? I cannot maintain the books of accounts for the owner.
But
I have to
still,
maintain the
okay, I
books of
got it.
accounts
I
for the
got the
organization.
point. But I didn't understood the concept. What you said is artificial person. What does it mean actually?
Assumptions, we have accounting assumptions. So some of the
Accounting
assumptions of
assumption. So how many types of persons, if you are calling artificial person,
natural persons are there. So
and
representative persons are there.
okay,
Artificial persons.
perfect. I got the point. I'll explain. See here, first leg, first they'll try to pull our leg and the capital. What you said is absolutely perfect. So here, everyone are perfect. So the same thing I would like to repeat. First thumb rule. First thumb rule, as you said, that concept, entity concept, business entity concept. What entity means what? It's a recognition. Entity means what? It's a recognition. What business entity concept says is whenever we are doing business or whenever we are doing accounts, right? As per the business entity concept, owner is separate from the business. Owner is separate from the business. Okay, and next what? So second point, first point we need to remember always, owner is separate from business. Next one, whenever we are doing accounts, we need to, as per assumption, right? We need to consider ourselves as business, not owner. Okay, as I said, that owner is separate from a business, and whenever we are doing accounts, we need to consider ourselves as business and owner is separate person. Owner is not owner. Third point, the accounts will be prepared in business point of view, not owner point of view. Clear? These 3 points. First one, owner is separate from business. First point we everybody knows, but still I'm reiterating. Okay. And next one, whenever we are doing accounts, we need to consider ourselves as a business, not the owner. I'll tell you. The accounts will be maintained or prepared in business point of view, not owner point of view. So what does it mean actually? So for example, if I take Naveen started business with cash or anything with cash 10 lakhs or 1 lakh. So here Naveen is the owner and there is one more term we are using called business, right? What Naveen is doing, Naveen is giving an amount of 10 lakhs to business to do its activity, Who are we in this particular transaction? Who are we in this particular as per the rule?
Business.
We are nothing but, as I said, that owner is separate from the business. Whenever we are doing accounts, we need to consider ourselves as a business. So means I'm not Naveen, I'm a business now. And owner is giving 10 lakhs rupees to do activities. So at the end, what is my responsibility as a business, in the sense, whatever amount owner is giving to me, whatever amount owner is giving me to do activities, at the end I need to repay back. To the owner. That is nothing but Naveen. Repay back to the owner. Clear? So something which we need to repay back. Okay, it's nothing but it's a liability. Something which we need to repay back is nothing but a liability. So that's the reason capital is considered as a liability. Fine. And here, why business? Why we need to consider as a business? Right? As I said, that third point, the accounts will be prepared in business point of view. We are not supposed to merge owner and business. Always, as I mentioned, it is a separate, right, entity. What do you mean entity? It's a kind of recognition, right? As per accounts, the persons are classified into three types. One is natural persons, as same thing. Artificial persons. I know everybody knows, but compulsory we need to repeat. That's the reason before going to organization structure and all, just we will have a essence of accounting what we did earlier in our graduation and post graduation intermediate level. Okay, and representative person, right? So who is a natural person? What is actually personal account? Personal account is nothing but the account which deals with persons. Normally, as per accounting, this thing, we will the types of accounts. We have three types of accounts, right? One is personal account, real accounts, and nominal accounts. What is personal account? Personal account is nothing but the accounts which deals with persons, right? So as per the personal account, the persons are classified into three different types. Okay, they are nothing but natural persons, artificial persons, and representative persons, or representative personal account. So first of all, I'll check with what do you mean natural persons? Who are natural persons? As per the accounting, who are the natural persons? Who are the natural persons? Yes.
Who have life.
Okay. See, as per accounting, who are natural persons? As you said, it yes, who are having life, who are by nature they are persons who have a life, but the persons who are involved in all economic activities, that is buying and selling of goods and services, and receipts and payments of cash or cash worth, then they are considered as a natural persons. As you mentioned, who are having a life, who are natural, and same time if they are involved in all economic activities, that is nothing but buying and selling of goods and services, and same time receipts and payments of cash or cash worth, then they are considered as natural persons as per the law, right? If you take a mentally retarded person, he's also having a life, but as per law they are not considered as a natural person. Why? They can't do any economic activity, they won't do any economic activity. That is nothing but they can't do any buying and selling activity, or they won't involve in any receipts and payments of cash or cash worth. Then they are not as per the law. Okay, as in general they are human beings, right? they'll consider it as a natural person only. But as per accounting principle and as per the legal requirement, they are not considered as a natural persons. Clear? So next one, artificial persons. Who are artificial persons? Artificial persons are not natural, like human beings. They're not natural, but still involved in all economic activities. They're involved in all economic activities. That is same buying and selling of goods and services, or receipts and payments of cash or cash worth. They're not natural, but still involved in all economic activities and involved in all receipts and payments. Then they are considered as artificial persons. For example, if I say, I have paid college fees. I have paid college fees. What does it mean? We are paying a college fees. So, does the college directly receiving whatever amount we are paying?
No.
No, right? Who will receive?
Cashier or
Cashier, accountant. But are we saying that fee paid to an accountant or a cashier or a clerk?
no.
No, right? What we are saying, we paid a college fees. And
Exactly.
we are considered, as in general, we are considering that college is receiving cash deposited into bank. Cash deposited into bank. So bank is considered, does the bank is receiving directly when we deposit?
No.
No.
So again, the person will involve, natural person will involve. But we are not saying that we have deposited to clerk, accountant, or someone else. We are directly saying that we have deposited in bank. So we are considering them as a person who are not natural. Clear? So those persons are considered as an artificial person. Those persons are considered as an artificial person. So this is the thumb rule. So here again in this particular transaction, when we'll come back to this particular transaction. Okay. Naveen started business with cash. How many persons are involved in this particular transaction?
Two persons.
Two persons. Who are they?
Naveen and business.
Naveen and business. Naveen comes under what kind of person?
Natural.
Natural person.
Natural person. And business comes under,
Artificial.
Artificial.
right? And this is, remember, I'll ask one more question on this. So artificial person. So we need to consider ourselves as
Business.
business. So natural person, that is nothing but owner of the business, is giving or investing in us, on us, some amount. And what is our primary job? At the end, we need to repay back to the owner. That is nothing but natural person. Fine. So that particular amount we need to repay back. So whatever we need to repay back to someone, then that is considered as a liability. And that investment we called in accounting terminology as a capital. In general, we call it as an investment. But in accounting terminology, we call it as a capital. So that's the reason it's known as a liability. Okay, somebody said it's a current liability. Again, I have a confusion. What do you mean by current liability and fixed liability, or whatever you call?
Current
What is
liability
current
means it needs to be paid within 1 year, I guess.
Within 1 year means like 1 year in the sense?
Financial.
The liability which we will be paying within 1 year is called
Like from
current
when to when?
liability.
From when to when? 1 year in the sense?
From the date of liability.
From the date of
Liability.
Okay.
Till 1 year.
Okay, great. Long-term liability?
Which are payable more than 5 years. Non-current liability.
More than 1 year.
More than
1
5
year.
years.
Great. See, again, how many types of liabilities?
Current liability, non-current liability.
Non-current, current liability and non-current liability. How about assets?
Current asset, non-current asset,
So again, what do you mean by current asset?
which are convertible in cash within 1 year,
Okay, same 1 year in the sense.
such as stock.
Why 1 year stock?
We will sell it now.
Okay, if you are what is okay, I got it. I got you said
And
that stock.
debtors.
Why
Debtors.
stock is considered as an asset?
Yes,
Why stock is considered as an asset?
it has a value.
Okay, then what is the difference between goods and stock?
Goods are
Eh,
purchased for
Mhm.
resale.
Okay, and what is stock?
Stock is also
The closing stock. After selling the closing stock, I guess.
After selling closing stock.
it is considered as liability asset.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Again, I'll come to the same thing. Yeah, you are perfect. See here. Again, same. When I come to a liability, the liability is considered as an. Okay, I'll before answer this, you have 100% correct. Okay, a layman came to you. A layman came to you on a piece of paper. On a piece of paper, he has prepared some sort of balance sheet without any headings. Without any heading, he has given a structure of balance sheet with nothing. He has mentioned whether it's a company balance sheet, only capital he has mentioned, not share capital also, right? He has mentioned only capital on the liability side, left hand side, and the right hand side some assets. And he has given you, and he knows pretty well that you have a good grip on accounting, because we have studied our accounting from our 5 years past experience, and as well as we are working as a finance stream, right? Just he asked, what kind of balance sheet is this? Whether is it related to a company balance sheet, or an individual balance sheet, or a bank balance sheet? Nothing, no headings, nothing. He has mentioned as a not share capital, something like that. He has mentioned capital only on the liability side, and same assets on asset side, right hand side. So how can you recognize what kind of balance sheet is that? Got my question?
Yes. Naveen, there is a balance sheet for sole proprietor. There is different balance sheet
What
for
kind of balance sheet?
sole proprietor, about the single person carrying the business.
Okay,
And there is a balance sheet for companies. There is in vertical format we create that.
both are vertical format only. Sole trader also you will prepare a vertical format, and partnership also you will prepare a vertical format, and as well as your company also you will prepare a vertical format.
Basically, no, for sole proprietorship, right side, left side, we will do asset liabilities.
Yeah, no, in company also, if you go see, this presentation would be something different, but in the books of accounts, you will prepare in the same way what you prepare for sole trader. There is no change in that. Change in the sense, the preparation, I am saying.
Yes, Naveen, I got your point.
You got my point, right? So how
Yes.
we can differentiate whether the given one is a sold, not no headings, nothing. If you would have mentioned that balance sheet of what you call Reliance company, then I would have clearly said that it's a Reliance company, or balance sheet of Naveen. Then I can say that it's a sole trader. If I say that balance sheet of Naveen and brothers, then I can say that it's a partnership or something else. No headings, nothing. Only the items he has mentioned in his balance sheet, and even he got some from somewhere, and he saw us, and he was in confusion that what kind of balance sheet is that. So, and he has given that particular piece of paper to us, and he was asking us that what kind of balance sheet is this?
Naveen, for company's balance sheet, we have headings.
What headings?
Means current liability, non-current liability.
Yes, for sole trader also you have to write same current liability, whatever you call. For
In sole
individual also you have to mention.
basically in sole proprietor, we will not have any headings.
No, if you are doing in a BCom first year, no, definitely you have to. You have to mention. It's you need to categorize your assets and liabilities.
Is it something to do with the fiscal year, Naveen?
No, nothing as such. Hope everyone see, I'm not trying to confuse you people, but still. Hope everyone got my question. What I'm trying to.
Yes, Naveen.
Yes, yes, yes.
And same time, I'll have one question, simple question. Not simple question, silly question, I can say. Why balance sheet is named as a balance sheet? I always have this particular question. Why balance sheet is known as balance sheet? Why we call it as a balance sheet?
Basically, Naveen, all the balances which have which are in when we prepare trial balance now,
Right?
all the balances which we get in the accounts, we will have balance now.
Which accounts?
Personal account, real account, nominal account.
Fine.
The nominal account balances will go to P&L, and the balances which we have asset and liabilities will go to balance sheet. So in that account there are balances. So that
So
is the reason
can you please repeat nominal account balances?
will go to profit and loss,
Okay.
and personal account and real account will go to balance sheet.
Why?
Because through nominal account, all we will debit the expenses and credit the income and gains. We will get the profit.
Okay.
After that, we will take the profit and we will go to balance sheet.
Okay.
And all the balances of liability and asset we will put at asset side, and all the balance of
How can you know that after doing a balance in, as you mentioned, personal and real account, how you will come to know whether it is an asset or a liability? Got my question?
No.
See, as you said that the balance is whatever you do, profit, what we call personal and real account, whatever you are saying. Okay, how you will come to know whether it's a asset or a liability?
Yes, asset will have
Assets will have positive balance
Asset will have
and positive balance, debit
debit
balance.
balance.
okay.
Liability will have credit balance.
Right, perfect. All right. So again, I'll reiterate for everybody's benefit what he said. Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. See here. First of all, we need to remember this particular thing. I'll ask normally why and what here, because we are not supposed to face any sort of issues when we reach client place. When we reach client place, because some clients, if you check, uh, I have experience with Indian clients, European clients, and as well as US clients, right? When we visit to US client place, then probably we won't get any sort of questions. Again and again, I'm telling you, we won't get any sort of questions. Maximum. Because they'll follow whatever we say blindly, they'll follow. But when you visit Indian customer, and when we visit European client or European customer, so what does European customer, whatever knowledge he is having, okay, he'll try to check with our knowledge. He will try to reconcile his knowledge with our knowledge, because they always feel that they are superior than us because we have visited their place. First, Indian client, whether he is having a knowledge or not, but still for everything, they will put a question mark. They'll on their face, they'll have a question mark. And I'm not saying all, but majority, we are going to face this issue. So that's the reason. First, we need to check what kind of client he is. So if he is Indian client or European client, like Poland client, right? Any other European client, then definitely we need to do homework a lot. We need to do a lot of homework on the conceptual, because higher level, they don't have any knowledge. But basic level, we need to do a lot of homework, because wherever we won't expect a question, right? Over there, they'll try to pull our legs. over there itself. In the same way, what I asked, the same thing. Say normally balance sheet is a balance sheet, that's it. But here, as you know that, as he mentioned, the accounts are broadly classified into any account. See, as I said that, what is our accounting cycle normally in year? If we are having Indian accounting, on 1st April to 31st March is our accounting year, financial year, right? When it comes to US, it would be 1st January to 31st December. So on day one, normally if we're taking manual accounting, what is our accounting cycle? The sequence of activities in accounting, we'll call it as an accounting cycle. Normally on 1st April, okay, we'll open 2 accounting books. One is journal and second one is ledger. And once I'll tell you, trial balance, and final accounts. So we are going to work on in SAP also the same process, final accounts, right? This is accounting cycle. Accounting cycle. It starts on 1st April with the journal and ends on 31st March with financial or final accounts, right? So here on 1st of April, every business will open 2 accounting books. One is journal and second one is ledger. One is journal and second one is ledger. So what is journal? What is journal? One second. What is journal?
To record the transaction.
Sorry?
Book.
The first book to record the business transaction date-wise.
Yeah. Actually, whatever word journal we are using, the term, it's not an English term, English word, right? This is a French word, right? The probably French specialists or German specialists are there. Jour means a day. Jour means a day, right? So here, what we will record, the book which is kept to record day-to-day transactions. A book which is kept to record day-to-day transactions. That book is known as journal, right? Jour means a day. So whatever daily transactions which are occurred in the business, that will be first recorded in journal, right? In a chronological order. That is nothing but date wise it will be recorded, right? For example, 1 month we have recorded all the transactions on that 1st April to 30th April. Okay, 30th April we have recorded. For example, our senior person asked, so we have recorded all the transactions in journal 1st to 30th. So if I want to analyze, by looking at journal, I want to analyze what are my total cash receipts and what are my total cash payments. What are my total cash receipts and what are my total cash payments? Is it possible to check with the journal?
No.
No, it's not possible. So to overcome this difficulty, to analyze each and every account, cash is one account, purchase is one account, capital is one account, right? So here, to analyze each and every account, which is not possible with the journal. So to overcome that difficulty, what businesses will do is businesses will prepare a ledger. Again, this is also not English word, right? And ledger is nothing but individual, right? So here, what in journal, whatever accounts are occurred, all those accounts are separately prepared. Each and every account will be prepared separately in ledger. That is called ledger, preparation of individual accounts. Whatever occurred in journal, all those are considered as an ledger accounts. Clear? So whatever transactions are occurred, that will be transferred from journal to ledger. From journal to ledger, that process we call it as in posting. Normally we will do invoice posting, right? What does the term posting? From the transaction, that is nothing but your invoice, to recording individual accounts, then that is considered as in posting, right? And whatever may be the ledgers, for example, in we have a 10,000 ledger accounts are there. Total, how many accounts are there? 10,000 ledger accounts are there, right? Whatever may be the account, all those 10,000 accounts, either they will fall under personal account or real account or nominal account. Only 3 accounts. That particular out of 10,000 accounts, either that will comes under personal account, real account or nominal account, nothing else. Clear? Everyone, anyone have a questions on this?
No, sir.
Clear? Either any account will fall under personal, real or nominal account. What is the thumb rule of ledgers? What is the thumb rule of ledger? What is the thumb rule of ledger?
Thumb rule,
Yeah.
debit, credit, I think.
What is debit?
Debit, what we get, credit, what we give.
That is a rule. Correct? Okay. What is an account? What is an account? What is the difference between account, accounting, and accountancy?
Account is nothing but a ledger, individual ledger.
Okay. Accounting?
Accounting is basically the transaction.
Same, right?
Yeah.
Ledger and accounting. Accountancy? Sorry, don't think I'm killing your time.
Making profit and loss and balance sheet.
What? Accountancy?
Analyzing the balance sheet and P&L.
Is it accountancy? What you're answering?
Accountancy could be the proficiency of an accountant.
Okay. Hope
The knowledge or
no one is thinking that we are killing time for this particular terminology.
No way, sir.
No.
No, Navin, no, Navin.
No,
No,
no.
no.
I'll tell you. You're almost all near, but I'll tell you what is debit and credit. As I said that. See, if someone is asking, what do you mean by debit and what do you mean by credit? What would be your answer? Everybody knows, the layman knows that debit and credit will be there in accounting. So
Accounting
he may
terms.
ask you, what do you mean by debit and what do you mean by credit? Sorry,
Nothing but accounting terms, debit and credit.
what
Debit,
is that? Sorry,
Accounting
Debit.
term. Debit and
Okay.
credit are nothing but accounting terms.
What kind of term it is?
Whatever we get is called as debit.
That
Whatever
is a
we give
rule of
away
a
is called as
rule,
credit.
right? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out.
No,
That
no,
is
no.
a real account rule.
General, no. General meaning of debit is whatever we get is called as debit.
Mhm.
Whatever we give away is called as credit.
Then what is debit? If someone is receiving, we'll call it as a debit. If someone is giving, then we'll call it as a credit.
is based on the accounts rules.
Not accounting rule. Debit, first of all, account we need to understand. First, we need to understand the concept called debit and credit. Then we can design the rules. Understood my point? See, first of all, normally if I ask people, normally in general, account in the sense, people says that same, whatever, normally generally we get the answer. See here, account. It's a text kind of thing, account. See, for example, I'll take, again, I'm coming back to in-depth, basic. For example, in this particular group, 2 Tamilians are there. And rest all non-Tamilians. Only 2 people are Tamilians and other are non-Tamilians. Right? So they are exchanging words in Tamil. If they are exchanging words in Tamil. So do we follow? Yes, no.
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 Why?
No.
Because we don't know that particular vocabulary, words, or whatever grammar or whatever it is, we won't follow, right? And same time, 2 Tamilians are there, and we know Hindi, everyone, and due to some reason they don't know Hindi, and we are exchanging words in Hindi. Will they follow?
No.
Absolutely no.
No.
Right. And this particular group, whatever group is there, 10 or 11 members, we all are belongs to accounting background. We all are belongs to accounting background people, if I'm not wrong, right? Same
Yes.
time, 2 zoology students came into this particular group, joined this zoology specialists, I can say that. So 2 zoology specialists or chemistry students or chemistry specialist people, chemical engineers entered into in this particular group, and they are exchanging some chemical terminologies like H2O, SO2, something like that. Do we follow?
No.
No.
Why?
We don't understand.
Perfect. And same time, we all are account students, and 2 chemistry and 2 zoology students or specialists, I can say that, they have entered into this particular group. And as a background, I said purchased goods for cash 10,000. Purchased goods for cash 10,000. It's a unique English language. We will understand. And same time, the chemistry specialist and zoology specialist, will they understand it or not?
Yes.
They will
Understand.
understand because they know English. It's a statement. By paying cash, we purchase some good. We purchase some goods. Now, what is the answer from your end? This particular thing. As a commerce student or accounts specialist, what is your answer?
Purchase account debit to cash account credit.
Purchases, purchases,
Debit.
to cash. Correct? Okay. Right, this is. And same time, I have given one more. Okay. So here I have, what does it mean actually?
Salaries have been paid to cash.
Paid in cash.
Correct. Okay, I have given only this particular statement. And as a commerce background account specialist, we understood salaries paid, correct, by cash. But will this particular terminology understood by those chemical and zoology, whatever specialists,
No.
will they follow?
No. No. No.
Right? Yeah, I'll tell you. See, first I have started with the Tamil, entered into Hindi. The next I've started chemical terminology. The next, this accounting term. See, as I said that Tamil, whatever languages, those are human languages. And what do you mean by language? Language is nothing but a way of communication, right? That could be anything
Yes.
which we are able to communicate the opposite person, then that is considered as a language. That could be verbal, that could be a body language or anything, right? Whatever Tamil, Hindi, whatever language I have mentioned, that is nothing but human languages. Okay, the person who knows the grammar, vocabulary, and everything, only those people will understand, right? In the same time, I said chemistry and zoology or something. There comes under a stream called science. What is science? Science is nothing but a systematized body of language. Systematized body of language, science. Science is also a language. What kind of language it is? It is a systematized body of language. What do you mean by systematized body of language? It will studies about, it will nothing but, it studies about a complete body. It's not only a human body, anything, right? If you take an electronic fan, okay, then it's a complete structure. Fan structure is considered as a body, right? only the person who is having a knowledge on that will understand how it works, what are the wiring it required. Same thing, television is a complete body, right? The person who studied about it, only those person will understand. If circuit, some terminology, electronic terminology we are using it, in that only the person who is having the knowledge on that, he will understand. Same time, what is an account? Before, what do you mean an account? Account is a language of business. If someone is asking you what do you mean by accounting, they're not asking you whatever totaling or whatever. First of all, we need to understand account is a language of business. Language of business, and which is in T form, capital T shape, capital T shape, and it has two sides. It has two sides, that is left hand side and the right hand side. The left hand side of any account, the left hand side of any account, that could be a personal account, that could be a real account, that could be a nominal account. Left hand side of any account is known as a debit side, and the right hand side of any account is known as a credit side. It's as simple as that. What is debit and what is credit? We're not supposed to say the rule. What is debit and what is credit? The left hand side of an account is known as a debit, and the right hand side of any account is known as a credit. So that could be any account, as I mentioned. So if it is a real account you are talking, then it is nothing but debit is nothing but what comes in. If you are receiving something, then you will post it on debit side. If you are giving something, something is going out from the business, then we will post it on the credit side. Personal account, if you are taking any account, again I'm mentioning personal account, if some receiver of the benefit, we will post on the debit. Giver would be on credit. So that is called account. Account is a language of business, which is in T shape, that is nothing but capital T, and which is two sides, left hand and right hand. The left hand side of any account is known as a debit side, and the right hand side of any account is known as a credit side. And when it comes to accounting, right? Accounting is nothing but the process of learning, right? The process of learning, nothing but, for example, we have started learning process in intermediate level, and we have continued in bachelor's, and the same thing we have continued till our master's. Okay, the process of learning, what has to be debited, what has to be credited, what has to be posted in ledger account, how to do balance each ledger account, and how to prepare a trial balance, how to prepare a trading profit and loss account, how to do a balance sheet, and all those stuff, financial reports and other reports. The process of learning completely, that is called accounting. Okay, once we learn what we do, as someone said, professional, right? Then once we start implementation, whatever we learn in accounting, in the real time, whatever we are going to implement, then that is considered as an accountancy. The real time implementation, somebody said professional. We won't call chartered accounting. We'll call chartered accountancy. Because when he is considered as a chartered accountant, once he has completed the particular learnings, that is called accountancy. So that is a thin line difference between accounting and accountancy. And debit and credit, it's as simple as that. And again, somebody, like, don't ever say that purchases account debtor. Never use the term called here in the entry level, purchases account debtor. No, debtor is nothing but a person, not here as a debit, not the side of account. So always, everybody knows, but still I am reiterating, purchases account debited. Never say that debtor. Means debtor is nothing but an asset to the business. It's a kind of natural person, right? Purchases account debited to cash account. Purchases account debited to cash account. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here we were discussing ledger part. Now you understood, right? Ledger is an account. That is nothing but a language of an account. So whatever, as I said, that there are three types. Any ledger, you will have 10,000 or 1 lakh. So either that will fall in a real account, nominal account, or personal account. And what is the thumb rule of ledger account in the sense? See here, this is very, very important. Somebody already answered this. Okay, but still I'm reiterating. Thumb rule of real account is personal and real accounts. Real accounts are supposed to be balanced. And what is the one more account we have? Nominal. Nominal accounts are supposed to be totaled. I'll tell you why. This is the thumb rule. Personal and real accounts are supposed to be balanced. Nominal accounts are in the ledger. That is nothing but in the ledgers. Personal and real accounts are supposed to be balanced. And in the nominal account ledgers are supposed to be totaled. So why personal account is to be balanced? In the sense, for example, you have taken a loan amount as a business, you have taken a loan from X 10,000 rupees on 1st April. On 1st April, you have taken a loan of 10,000 rupees. In the month of August, you have returned 8,000 rupees to them. And you have started preparation of your balance sheet on 31st of March. Right? 1st April, you took 10,000. On 1st August, you have returned 8,000. And 31st March, you are preparing a balance sheet. So how much amount you need to repay back? How much amount you are liable to pay him? How much amount you are liable to pay him?
2,000.
2,000.
Amount 2,000.
Only 2,000, right? Do we show 10,000 or do we show 8,000 or do we show only 2,000?
Only the balance.
Only the balance, whatever we have to pay him. Correct? Same time you purchased worth rupees furniture. It's an asset, real account. Furniture worth rupees 20,000. Okay. After depreciation and all, you have sold some part of furniture. Some part of furniture. For example, 8,000 worth furniture you have sold. Out of 20,000 furniture, you have sold 8,000 worth furniture. So what is the furniture left out on 31st March?
12,000.
12,000. So you will show total 20,000 or 12,000 in your balance sheet.
12,000.
12,000. So as on that particular day, whatever the value is there on that particular day, that is nothing but on the day when you are preparing the balance sheet, on that particular day, whatever the value of asset and whatever the value of liability is there, only that we will show. So that's the reason we will do personal and real accounts. Means personal and real account balances will be transferred to balance sheet. Balances I'm saying. So again, what do you mean by balance sheet? The sheet which contains the balances of all the personal and real accounts. The sheet which contains all the balances of personal and real accounts. So that's the reason we call that sheet as a balance sheet. And what will be there in that balance sheet? In the sense, all the personal and real account, if the balance is on personal and real accounts balances on the debit side, if debit side is more, then that is considered as an asset and that will be shown on the asset side. And all the balances of personal and real account credit balances will be considered as a liability and that will be shown on the liability side. That's the reason we call that particular sheet a balance sheet. Hope I'm correct. This clear, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any corrections I need to make? Right? The sheet which contains the balances of personal and real account, if the balance on the debit side, then that will be automatically shown on the asset side. If the balance, the thumb rule of asset accounting rule, what is asset account? We will do asset accounting in our SAP. So we need to remember this particular thing. Asset accounting. What is the asset accounting rule? Always asset accounts always shows a debit balance. Assets always shows a debit balance. Liabilities always shows a credit balance. Capital always shows a credit balance. Expenses always shows a debit balance. Incomes always shows credit balance. Right? If we are clear with this particular, then only the configuration would be a problem for us in future. But the accounting conceptual wise, when we visit a client place, then we can play with them. Right? So here what? And nominal account. See, nominal account, why we are supposed to total? Nominal account, again, nominal account deals with in business expenses, losses, incomes, and profits. Right? For example, we took a building for rent, a monthly rent of 10,000. On 1st April, we took, and our financial year starts from 1st April and ends at 31st March. Ends at 31st March. So every month, 10,000 we are paying as a rent to that particular building. Right? So what would be the amount you will post in your P&L account? Profit, it's an expense. So definitely we need to post in P&L account. So how much amount you will post? 10,000 per month. In a year, 12 months.
It will be monthly. Yeah.
Sorry, how much you will post total? What is the amount?
1,20,000.
1,20,000. Do we post 10,000 or
10,000 each month.
1,20,000?
We
On
will be
31st
posting
March.
every month 10,000.
10,000 is a total on balance sheet, on P&L account. How much you will show? On the year ended, you will show how much amount?
120.
1,20,000, correct? So
Like,
that's the reason what we are doing every month, whatever we are paying, we are totaling them. We are summing it up, and we are showing the total amount as your expense. Correct? So that's the reason here it is showing it as a nominal accounts are supposed to be totaled. So if it is an income, then we will show on the credit side. If it is an expense or loss, we will show it on the debit side. The totals only, not the balance. We don't have any balance. Any questions?
No, sir.
Right? So got the clarity on account, but still debit and credit.
Naveen,
Please go ahead.
on a balance sheet, what if someone says balance sheet is the meaning of the balance sheet? The balances, the remaining balances on the assets, on the all the assets on the liability, that is also fine.
I didn't get you. Can you please
Or
come
it
again?
has to be, I mean, instead of, like you said, the definition of the balance sheet means the balances on the personal, on the real accounts are
Yes.
reflected in the balance sheet. Right?
Correct.
So instead of, if someone says instead of personal and the real accounts, they say the balances on the assets and the liabilities.
No.
Does it make sense or no?
No. Why? Because see, one more thing. What happens when you do sum up the assets and liabilities? What do you mean by balance? Whatever, when you compare, when you compare two sides, if something is left out, then that is considered as a balance.
Okay.
But in your balance sheet, whatever assets and liabilities are there, will it, some asset will be more and liabilities will be less?
No, cannot be.
Liability will be more and assets will be less? Whatever.
No.
Not both will be equal?
Yes.
So how they can call it as a balance of assets and liabilities?
Got it.
Right?
Just had a...
Yeah, correct. But I have a question. Whatever question you asked, in that I got a question. I know the meaning of liability. I know the meaning of liability, and I know the meaning of asset. And everybody knows asset and liabilities. Why in the balance sheet both will be equal at the end? Why?
Assets is equal to liabilities.
Why?
Why?
Same thing, liability equal to assets. But why?
Example.
Yes.
We have bought a capital of 10 lakh rupees.
Okay.
And we have purchased one asset.
Okay.
So the balance is, for example, from that capital we have used to 2 lakh rupees. So the 2 lakh rupees assets we have purchased.
Okay.
So the asset side, there will be 2 lakh. Sorry. Yes, yes.
Liability side.
Yes. Wait, Naveen.
Oh, but what I'm asking, it's not a foolish question.
Naveen, basically for this there is a one formula.
Mhm.
So I'm not getting remember.
I'll tell you, it's not a formula. We don't have formulas in our accounting. Okay, I'll tell you. Hope everyone got my question, first of all. It's everybody's question. Whatever Minaj asked just now, from that I got this question. Hello.
Yes, yes, Naveen.
Everyone got my question, right? Understood, right? We prepare
Yes.
a balance sheet.
Yes,
So
yes.
I know.
Yes,
See,
yes.
someone will ask you, as you said that it's a layman question. You prepared your balance sheet and you said that liabilities, these are my liabilities. I know English meaning of liabilities. I know English meaning of an assets, right? And at the end, you said both are equal and I'm happy because my balance sheet is got tallied. I'm very much happy. But a layman feels that why this person is happy because his liabilities and assets are equal. In according to my sense as a layman sense, I always see that my assets should be more and liability should be less or liability should be nil. But why this? Why we are making equal?
Naveen,
Right? Yes or no? In general,
Naveen,
yes.
when we got capital, we also got cash.
Okay.
So we got 10 lakh rupees capital. That is liability for us.
Okay.
And we also got cash from the 10
Okay.
lakh rupees cash example.
Okay.
Liability and asset is going to equal.
Why asset? You bought it as a liability, right?
So because I'm also getting cash now.
But how it will become an asset
Balance.
to you? It should be your liability, right? Whatever cash you bought from others, that cash should be liability. How can you consider it as an asset?
But we are expanding the business right now.
No
We are
expanding. I'm in starting.
purchasing
I'm in starting.
with that liability.
I'm
We
in
will be
starting.
purchasing assets.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm taking it, deviating. The thing is, what you said is right. Again, I'm reiterating. Okay, as you said, capital we bought from 1 lakh in the form of cash, correct? So here, why? Why we are considering this as an asset? As you said, that formula, but it's not a formula, it's an equation. Okay, we call it as an that particular equation as an accounting equation. What is accounting equation? Says that capital plus liability equal to assets. Okay, so for example, before going to this particular concept, I would take you to one more concept. Okay, so as I said that Naveen started business with cash. How many persons are there in this particular transaction?
Two.
Two persons. Who are they?
Naveen and business.
Naveen and business. Naveen is what kind of person?
Personal.
What kind of person?
Natural.
Natural person. And business?
Artificial.
Artificial person, right? Remember that. Artificial person. So I'm a business, I'm an artificial person. For example, I'm a student. Okay, and I need to pay my college fee, and I'm not earning, for example. I'm not earning, I need to pay college fee of 10,000. So on whom I am dependent? Normally, in general.
Parents.
Parents. So those are my sources. Correct? So my parents are given 8,000 rupees to me to pay the college fees, but still it's not sufficient, right? So what is the other source I can have? I can borrow from my friends. My parents said that right now they have 8,000. So tomorrow, today is the last day, but what they said is tomorrow they will give the other 2,000. So what I'll do normally, we'll borrow from our friends
Yes.
in case, right? We will borrow from our friends and we will pay the college fees. So what are the sources for me now to get those 10,000? What are the sources?
Parents and
Parents
friends.
and friends.
Friends, right? In the same way, business is an artificial person. As a student, I'm an artificial person. I'm supposed to, I'm dependent. Okay. Same business also can't generate its funds on its own, right? It need to depend on two sources. Two sources. One is internal source. Internal source, and the other one is external source. External source, right? Internal source and external source. So here internal source is nothing but owner of the business. Owner of the business. External source is nothing but for the business, as you mentioned, we can get the funds from banks, correct? Friends, friends in the sense owner friends or someone, some outsiders, external creditors, right? Any other financial institutions, right? So this is called internal source and external source. As I said that owner has given, so total 10 lakhs rupees owner has given, but to run the show, we need 15 lakhs. So how much amount owner has given? 10 lakhs. Okay. How much is required for us? Still
5 lakhs.
5 lakhs. So either
5 lakhs.
borrowed from outsiders or banks or something outsider who was not internal sources. So we bought 5 lakhs. Now how much amount we have now?
15.
As you mentioned, 15 lakhs. So with this 15 lakhs, we can buy something, we can pay something, right? We can do our business activities. We in the sense business here. We can do our business activities. So then total we are having now 15 lakhs. Right? So 15 lakhs I'm having. So whatever amount owner has invested, 10 lakhs, out of that, he has taken back 2 lakhs. He has taken back how much amount? 2 lakhs. So how much amount I have now?
13 lakhs.
So internal source, how much amount I have?
8 lakhs.
8.
Right? So 8 lakhs I'm having as it is. And external source, nothing has been done. What is the amount I have?
5 lakhs.
5 lakhs.
5 lakhs.
So total
13.
13 lakhs.
13 lakhs.
Right? And same 13 lakhs we are having right now. Now again, outsider, nothing but we borrowed 1 more lakh from bank. 1 more lakh from bank. So how much is the total amount now?
14.
14 lakhs.
14 lakhs.
Internal still remain 8
Yeah, I'll write it as it
and
is.
6, so it's 14.
So internal as it is 8 lakhs. Right? Plus
6 lakhs.
how much is the external source?
6.
6 lakhs. And total
6,
14
total
lakhs.
14 lakhs.
14.
Correct? So here
Yes.
earlier it was 15 lakhs. Here it becomes 13 lakhs. Here it becomes 14 lakhs. So this particular internal source, whatever we are calling, we'll call it as a source side. source side. And this side, whatever amount we are having to do our show, this is called resource. This is called resource, right? Increase in source equal to increase in resource. Decrease in source equal to
Decrease in
happened?
resource.
Decrease in resource. So the source side, again, one more. The source side, we call it as, we need to repay back to at the end owner. We need to repay back to outsiders at the end. So we call them as in liabilities, accounting terminology. And the resource side, we call it as an asset side, right? Means if liability increases, your assets increases. Liabilities decreases, your assets decreases. So why we are calling it as an liabilities? This is nothing but source side. If your source increases, resource will also increases. If your source decreases, resource is also decreases. So that's the reason. Okay. Source of funds will be always equal to your application of funds. So that's the reason your balance sheet, whatever balance sheet you are calling, the liabilities and your assets will be always equal. Right? What is liabilities? We call liabilities as a source side. Yeah. And asset is nothing but your resource. Because business is an artificial person, it can't generate funds on its own. It will depend upon two sources. One is internal source, that is nothing but owner, and external source, that is nothing but outsiders. That could be anything, relatives, banks, friends, or whoever it is. So that's the reason your balance sheet is always equal when compared to your personal balance sheets. Any questions here? Any questions? Balance sheet, why it's always equal? Why your balance sheet is always equal? And according to accounting terminology, majority people says that we need to prepare mandatory or trial balance, right? It's not required. Accounting files directly we can do journal, ledger. Okay. Without trial balance also final accounts can be prepared. But if some errors are there in the ledgers and journals, then that will be carried to your final accounts. So to overcome that difficulty, what businesses will do is businesses will prepare trial balance. That's the name itself is saying trial balance. Only the checking, it's an accuracy, arithmetical accuracy to check whether the prepared journals and ledgers are correct or not. To check that, the trial balance will be prepared. Right? If trial balance agreed, then automatically, which means that whatever accounts we prepared, whatever profit, whatever journals and ledgers, those are correct. If something is incorrect, if a trial balance is not agreed, then instead of preparing final accounts, you can go back and we can check where the error is. Then we can done the rectification, and if again we will prepare trial balance, if it is started, then we will prepare our final accounts. Any questions from anyone? Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. So here we again current assets and current liability, sorry, fixed asset or current liability or a long-term liability. What do you mean by current asset? As you said, 1 year, right? So again, 1 year in the sense, again, they will ask you from when to when. As you said that from taken the date which we purchased or from the date when we have taken, no. What do you mean by current liability? Current liability is nothing but the liability which we need to repay back within 1 year, as you mentioned. Correct, 1 year only. But from when to when? Which 1 year? In the sense, from preparation of one balance sheet to preparation of another balance sheet. Whatever liabilities we need to repay back. Whatever liabilities we need to repay back. Then those liabilities are considered as in current liabilities. Right? Not 1 year from the you have taken. No. From preparation of one balance sheet to another balance sheet. Means from 31st March to another 31st March. So whatever liabilities you need to repay back within this particular time, then that is considered as an current liabilities. And which are not supposed to be paid within this particular year, within preparation of one balance sheet or another balance sheet, then all those liabilities are considered as a long-term liabilities. All those considered as a long-term. Same time, when it comes to current assets, the assets which can be converted into cash quickly, we'll call it as an, what do you mean by current assets? The first answer we'll get, the assets which can be converted into cash quickly, then those are considered as a current asset. Again, they will ask, what do you mean by quickly? How much time? Then we will say 1 year time. Again, they may ask you one more question. 1 year in the sense from when to when? Means the assets which can be converted into cash from preparation of one balance sheet to preparation of another balance sheet. All those assets are considered as in current assets, and which cannot be converted within preparation of one balance sheet to another balance sheet. All those assets are considered as an fixed assets.
Non-current.
Yeah, non-current assets. So 1 year, again and again, I'm reiterating, 1 year in the sense from when to when? From preparation of one balance sheet, as per accounting, 1 year in the sense only preparation of one balance sheet to another balance sheet, not from you have taken. Clear? So that's the reason. First question, if you are going to end user entry, they may ask you accounts payable, where you will show in your balance sheet. Where you will show in your balance sheet.
Liability
We call it as a current liability side. So immediately they'll ask where, in which liability you will show current liability. Why? You can check your payment terms in account AP. What are the payment terms maximum we will have? 30 days, 45 days, 60 days,
45 days.
90 days, 120 days, max to max 180 or max to max
I think
260.
that's the maximum.
Not more than that. So that's the reason it will show it as a current. Same time, your this one AR also the same thing. And one more thing, in the latest version of SAP, we are not going to call them as an sundry creditors or sundry debtors, nor accounts payable, nor accounts receivable. We are calling them as in trade payables and trade receivables. We'll see that in future, what, why and what. Why we are not calling them as in sundry creditors and sundry debtors.
From which version, sir?
From ECC 6 EHP 7 onwards.
Okay.
Okay. What do you mean by creditor?
From whom we purchase the goods.
On
So whom we are liable.
Suppliers.
right?
Creditor is a person who is going to supply goods or services on credit basis,
They are
for which
considered as a creditor.
organizations pays them later.
They are considered as a creditor, right?
For which organization pays them later.
Sorry.
They're going to supply on credit basis,
Correct.
for which organization will pay them later.
Yeah, we are liable to pay. Organization in the sense we are liable to pay them, right? We have purchased goods or services from them on credit, and we are liable to pay them. They are nothing but creditors to us, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sure.
Okay, I understood creditor concept, but what do you mean by sundry creditors? I know the term called creditors, but what do you mean by sundry creditors?
It is more suppliers, right? So there cannot be one
Sorry?
supplier. There will be there
Exactly.
cannot be one supplier. There will
Yeah.
be more
In
suppliers.
ledger,
right?
we can
For an
prepare
organization.
individual creditors, but in trial balance and in balance sheet, we can't show all the creditors in our statements. What we will do, we will sum up how much amount we are liable to pay to all our creditors. Okay, sundry means group of creditors, group of debtors, group of expenses. We call it as in sundry. Clear? We call it as in sundry debtors.
It was previously been, Naveen?
Yeah,
It
please.
was previously been done in the same way.
Yeah,
In the current
but
liabilities.
we are no more calling them in our
summing
ledger.
up all the two.
Yes, same thing we are going to do, but we call them now as a, instead of sundry debtors, sundry creditors, we are going to call in SAP.
Trade credit.
EHP7, we are no more calling them as a group called sundry debtor, sundry creditor. We are going to call them as a trade payables and trade
Okay.
receivables.
Okay.
Clear? Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? Any questions from anyone?
Navin, I have one query. So in balance sheet, if we are tallying both the amounts, so how can we know whether the business is in profit or loss?
Sorry. So you will prepare your, before that you will prepare your income statement, right? That is nothing but your revenue,
Profit and loss.
profit and loss account. Over there we'll come
Okay.
to know. So if
Mhm,
profit
okay.
is there, then that would be added to capital. If it is in
Okay,
loss,
okay.
then that will be deducted from your capital.
Yeah, Navin.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Because why we started in the sense, before understanding the organization concept, organization structure concept, we need to have this basics. Again, means further accounting concepts we are going to learn. We are going to see, not learn, I'm sorry. We are going to see in at the time of entries, posting of end user entries, general GL module entries, AP entries, AR entries, asset accounting entries. We are going to compare and we will see. Meanwhile, any questions?
Good to go, sir.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll stop here itself for today, and tomorrow we'll start up with the organization structure part. Hope it's a useful for you. Majority already people are having good knowledge in accounting, but still it's a kind of refresher.
It is useful, sir, actually.
Yeah, Navin.
Any other queries from anyone?
Navin, regarding the SAP version, which one
Okay.
we have to take, like the
I have
ECC or
if you are
HANA?
taking ECC EHP7,
Okay. No, can we take the S4?
not now, not required. I'll give you the access for S4 because it's a little bit costly one. Every month we
Okay.
need to pay around 1,500 to 2,000, or at least 1 month. Every month we need to pay $1,000 for that. So what
So
I'm
you,
saying is 1,000 rupees at least minimum anywhere across the globe. If you're taking S4 HANA version, then we need to pay per month 1,000. Whereas ECC version, we need to pay per 6 months some amount. So what I'll do is when we start our S4 HANA, I'll give the accesses of mine. So where you can work free of cost. ECC
So-
mandatory you need to take. ECC you need to take for your regular practice. And same time, S4 HANA, when we start comparison, when we start S4, then I'll give my access. I have a different accesses from different sources. So instead of you people spend a lot of amounts on that, I'll give you those accesses.
thank you, Navin, for that. So EHP 7, right?
Yes, ECC 6, EHP 7. If you are taking from Venkat, I have already informed him, whoever are coming from our side, he need to give that particular access only.
Hi, Navin.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
Navin,
please.
I just text you in the group,
Okay.
in the chat. This is
Okay.
what I have got
Yes,
installed in my
EHP 7
laptop.
you can see here.
Remote show.
Yes, exactly. EHP 7. This is the version we needed.
Yeah.
The same version we want.
Okay. This is the one. So this is
Yes.
the right one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Naveen,
Yes, please.
I was having one question. What are the chapters we will be? I will be going to refresh these chapters in cost and management accounting.
Okay.
You just tell me the chapters which we will cover in this SAP.
I'll share the contents. FI
Okay.
and as well as CO content in an
Okay.
ECC version.
Okay.
Okay. Right now I'll share it on WhatsApp group. You can check. Is that okay?
Yes, Naveen.
Yeah. Any other?
Navin, you have not uploaded the class 8 video.
Sorry. Last week, right?
Class
Last
8,
week
yeah.
session, right?
Yes, Navin.
Last week session, I'm sorry to say that my laptop was got corrupted on that particular this last week. So I was not able to take the backup. I'm trying from all the sources because whatever Zoom recording is there, that will be stored on my hard disk, and it was got crashed. And due to that, last week, whatever sessions I took for all the batches, I was not able to take the backup. And I was checking with the hardware engineer whether on same time I'm checking with the Zoom also, whether can we get those backups. Okay. However, we didn't do much in the last week sessions because tomorrow again we will see enterprise structure at least, and again we will continue that.
Okay, Naveen, no
Yeah.
issues. Yeah.
Because I'm failed to like get the last week I've tried a lot, but I'm not able to get those recordings because even same time I've sent email to the Zoom people also, and same time checking with one hardware engineer also whether I'm able to get those things or not. It's completely all the batches recordings complete last Saturday to till yesterday. Whatever I have done completely got crashed. Not able to recover because everything stored on my hard disk, and whatever backup was there, that is their previous recordings. But whatever Zoom recordings were there, which was saved in my hard disk, that what got corrupted. But I'll try somehow. If not, we will just recap once. That's it. From other batches or something, we can do that.
Okay, Naveen, done.
Yeah. Thank you. How about others? Any questions?
No, sir.
No, Naveen.
Can we call it for today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow.
Good day,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Naveen.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Naveen.
team.
Bye all.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Naveen. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.